So we'll welcome you, Devin. Appreciate you being on the podcast. I don't know if I have a name for it yet. I did a podcast before,
Uh-huh.
and we called it Back to Basics. So the premise behind that was that a lot of businesses were doing a lot of complicated. We're thinking about doing so many complicated marketing tactics and things like that. And I thought, hey, how about we just go back to the basics, do the basics
I
of
love it.
business,
Yeah.
right? Doing good work, and then backing it up with some really good marketing, some simple marketing to help you. And so we went with the back to basics, and also because the acronym is B2B, because we're B2B. So it worked really well. So I think I'm gonna keep the name Back to Basics. So we'll call it the Back to Basics podcast. I'll sponsor it by Steady and all that. So, for those who don't know who you are and what you do, let them know who you are.
So my name's Devin. I'm the owner of Detroit Dew Disposal. We started exactly 1 year ago today. Oh no, a couple days ago. So we just hit our 1 year anniversary. Can I cuss on here or no? Okay. I was gonna say something. All right. But basically what we do is we pick up dog poop. That's
Yeah.
that's the premise of my business. I realized in my short entrepreneurial career that if you can find something to do that other people don't want to do, and make money doing it. If you want, I can kinda tell you the short story of how everything got started, if you'd
Yeah,
like.
please. Please,
So
because boy, before you start, one thing that I didn't know, I don't think a lot of people will know, is there is a whole industry of pooper scoopers, is what
mhm,
they're called, right? And
there's
I
a
didn't
lot
know
of
that existed until I found someone who also does reviews out in Florida, and Florida's full of them. And his niche is
yeah.
basically pooper scoopers, right? And then I found you, and I was like, I didn't even know this was done in Michigan. This is cool, and it was done in my backyard. But yeah, please let
Yeah,
us know
so
how it started.
that's funny you say that you didn't know that these companies existed because I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
So, it was during spring break of last year, I was still in school at Michigan Dearborn, and my dad was like, "Hey, the dog poop's gotta be picked up, it's so bad back there, you gotta go do it." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
come on." So, I started doing it at my own house, and I was like, thinking while I was doing it, I was like, other people might want this. I'm on spring break. I'm broke. I don't have any money. I'm bored. Let me make a post in Downriver and Friends asking if anyone would like to have their poop picked up. So I didn't think much would come out of it. I just put a simple little post in there saying, "Hey, $50 a yard. I will come do your dog poop." And I think that post got like 700 likes and like 400 comments or something ridiculous.
That's a lot. That's a lot
Yeah,
for
for just a
downriver.
local Facebook group, it was
Yeah.
nuts. Dude, my phone was just went crazy. I was, like, doing 20 jobs a day for, like, a month straight, and I was, like, mind blown. So that's how everything started, and I had no idea that there were other companies out there actually doing this. I thought I was a genius. I was like, "People are gonna want this. Nobody's ever heard of this."
Yeah, dude, I mean,
Little did I know, you know?
one thing I've learned so far is that there's nothing new under the sun,
No.
right? And as much as as much like it's only really rare. I mean, even like those once in a lifetime type entrepreneurs like the Elon Musks of the world that are doing like, you know, it's kind of like unique, but like we've gone to the moon before, right? I don't know if you believe that or not, but like we've somebody has attempted that before. He's doing it in a new way. Even if you look at like the electric cars and Teslas and stuff like that, electric cars existed before him. He just branded it different, right? And so, yeah, something I learned pretty quick was that there's nothing new under the sun. Like starting in marketing and doing a lot of different things. I thought, just because the local, I don't know, I don't know, sandwich shop isn't doing something doesn't mean it just doesn't exist. They don't know about it, or they're not
Exactly. I didn't
taking
know about your
advantage.
services until you told me, and I'd
Yeah,
like to definitely give you your flowers on this podcast if I can, if you wanna get into that later, but
yeah, for sure. No. So what's one opinion that you have about your industry what's one opinion that you have that nobody agrees with you in the industry?
so a lot of companies charge differently than me. My
Okay.
pricing is, definitely not the same as most companies. I'm sure there are some companies that are similar, but, like, for our pricing for a one-time, like, spring cleanup, we go based off of how many dogs you have and if you have a small, medium, or large yard. That's it. Doesn't matter how long it's been since it's been picked up, it's just one simple pricing. I know there are some companies that price it by, like, the bucket and how much they pick up and everything like that, which is totally fine. That's how they do things, but ours is just we try to make it as simple as possible.
Okay. You said a bucket. How much poop are you picking up that you need a bucket? Is that how consistent do you fill up those buckets? And how big are they?
Man, you wouldn't even believe it. So I use a trash can. I use a contractor bag and a trash can, and you know how big a contractor trash bag is? Big.
Uh, I can't picture it off the top of my head. Is it like one of those black bags,
Yeah,
black trash bags? Yeah,
industrial
looks
big
relatively big.
trash
Yep.
bags. I've had jobs where I filled up 5 of those at one house.
What?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
crazy.
Oh, wait, at one house?
One house, yeah.
What?
You know, they have,
Oh
like, 6
my.
dogs or something. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
6
crazy.
dogs, that's a lot, but that's a lot of poop,
Mhm.
dude. Wow. Was the owner just not tending to it and it just built up over time, or it's just like, this is the daily?
I mean, it had been over the winter, so probably 3, 4 months. You
Oh, okay.
imagine 6 dogs not being cleaned up after for 3, 4 months, it's gonna be like a war zone back there.
Okay.
We deal with that kinda stuff all the time, but
Okay.
yeah.
Alright, yeah, so I was actually listening to, like, another podcast, it was another pooper scooper, I forget where he's from, but he said the most he's ever done is 40 of those trash bags.
I think those are the little regular sized ones, though. Like, you know,
Okay,
the white ones you put in your
okay,
kitchen?
okay,
He's probably
uh,
talking about those. I'm
okay. I
yeah.
don't think he went into detail on what type, I just thought 40 trash bags of
I
poop.
can imagine that. That's probably close to how many we would use if we used those kind too.
Okay,
It's crazy.
alright, alright. So what's one thing that you wish more people understood about your industry?
Connecting with other business owners. I think if you can make connections with your competition in the area and learn things from them or possibly give each other work, I think that's a great thing for everyone in you know, in that scenario. It doesn't you don't have to hate your competition, you don't have to try and one up your competition. I've connected with a few other companies in the area, and it's been great. I've learned a lot from them, learned things that I can implement that I didn't even think of at all.
Yeah.
So, I think that's definitely something that some business owners don't realize that they should do, is connect with their competition.
Right, right. I think something that's really hard for at least new entrepreneurs to understand, and I don't say that because I'm still relatively new. I don't know as much as I'm gonna sound like I know, but something that I ran into a lot was thinking that there isn't enough demand. But like there's so many people in this world, and especially in the service industry, it's not always a one-time thing. So there's always demand and there's enough to go around. And so I always had that scarcity mindset where it's like, dude, like this guy has 100 clients. I have no more clients. Whereas like, bro, even just in Downriver alone, there's about 700,000 people. 100 is
Really?
touching, yeah, about 700,000,
No,
750.
I didn't know it was that high. Wow, that's a
Like,
lot.
South, I guess I'm counting all of Southeast Michigan, not just Downriver.
Okay,
I kinda count this whole area as downriver, honestly.
makes sense.
It's maybe a little smaller if you're just counting all the downriver cities, like, from Taylor to Woodhaven to where
I'll
else?
tell you what I think Downriver is.
What
So
do you think?
I think Downriver is Southgate, Wyandotte,
Okay.
Lincoln Park, Trenton, Flat Rock, Brownstown, Woodhaven, Groseal.
Grozeal?
Yeah, that's downriver.
I don't think
It's
Grozeal.
on the river. What you mean? It's on the river. It's gotta be
Okay,
downriver.
alright, I mean, I don't know, if you say downriver,
It's
Grozeal's
surrounded by the river, bro. It's gotta be downriver.
okay, okay, good point, good point. I mean, when we're talking downriver with anyone, I don't hear you're probably the first that's brought up Grozeal. We don't bring up
No
Gro
way. You don't
yeah.
you think?
I mean, you missed kind of a core. You missed Allen Park and Taylor.
I was
Those
getting
are
there. I was getting there.
okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna let you finish
Taylor,
unless
Riverview,
huh?
uh, Romulus, maybe. Like that's kinda on the border.
It's on the border, but I wouldn't consider them downriver.
Yeah, but after that, that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, let me think. Did you miss anyone?
I hope not. People are gonna kill me if I did, but I don't think so.
Did you say Wyandotte?
Yeah. I think I
Okay.
said that after
I think
Southgate.
I think you got everyone then, because you said Brownstown. Brownstown and Woodhaven are the same. So basically,
Nah, I would consider both of those downriver, but that's about it. Anything past that, no.
yeah, they're just so close that you could
Mhm.
interchange those. That's cool. Yeah. If you missed anyone, I think somebody will probably.
Someone will get me.
Yeah.
Someone will get me.
Yeah, okay, so what's one moment with a customer can you think of where you went above and beyond for them? Uh,
Yeah. I remember there was this customer when I had first started. So I came and did their yard just as a one-time job.
yeah.
Super nice guy, talked to the guy, and I'm doing his yard, and it's just brutal, right? And all of a sudden, the back door opens, and, like, these 2 German Shepherds just come sprinting out the house. I'm like and they just start coming right at me, like, charging me. I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't swear, but I'm like, "Oh, no." I hopped the fence like, it was crazy. I hopped the fence,
Yeah.
and these dogs are just, like, trying to kill me, and I wanted to leave so bad, bro. I was like, "Oh, no, I can't do this." And I called
Yeah.
the guy, and they went back in the house,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yeah, sorry, man. These are my, like, protectors. They protect the property. I'm a veteran.
Okay.
These are just my dogs." I'm like, "Oh, he's a veteran, man. I totally understand. You gotta have, like, guard dogs. I get that." So, I finished up. I'm like, "Honestly, man, I appreciate your service. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna do it for totally free for you." So, I just, like, didn't charge him nothing. He's a veteran. I have a lot of veterans in my family, so
Good man.
that's probably the best thing I've done for a customer,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, that's awesome. Any way any way that you can give back, at least in my opinion, and in my experience so far has been great. One thing that we do with Steady is every review that any of our clients get, we donate a meal to Feed in America or any local nonprofit in the areas. Those little things at the moment, it's not a substantial amount of money, so it's not like, 10, 15, 5 grand, stuff like that. But it's just little things that you can do to touch a community or just give back that
So,
honestly,
anytime you guys get a review on your company or anytime, like, I get a review?
every time you get a review, anyone.
Really? Every time
Mhm,
I get a review, you donate a meal?
mhm.
That's amazing.
So Feeding America, they price each meal at 10 cents. So basically each review for any steady client gets is worth 10 cents. So I just tally that up at the end of the month and I donate in your name. So you don't know about it. But maybe we spoke about it, but I don't
I think we
really
did talk
mention
about
it.
that. I think I do remember talking about that, but I you
Yeah.
had to refresh my memory on that. That's
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah. So I
I love
do. I do donate that every month. And it's not a substantial amount of money, but I'm thinking about it in the long run when I have 50 to 100, 150 clients and they're all getting 5 to 10 reviews every month, you know,
that's a lot of meals.
that's a lot of meals, right? It's a lot of meals being sent out. And I also try to if it's not like a crazy amount of money, I try to match it and send it to Fish and Loaves. It's one of our
Yeah,
local
playing that
food,
golf outing.
food pantries. And then also this isn't a food place, but Downriver Foster Closet. I try to
Okay.
send I donate to them too. Yeah, so I just think it's really cool to give back with your company
That's
or have
amazing. You thought of that on your own?
no, I got it from somebody else. I can't. I wish I could say I could take responsibility for that, but no, I got it from somebody else, and I thought this is an amazing idea. Why
That's
not, right?
so cool, bro. I love that.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that. What's your primary way of getting leads and customers right now?
I got a lot. I got
Okay.
a lot, I can't lie. So, for advertising, we're spending a lot in advertising right now just because it's our busy season. We're doing, like, 2,500 a month just in ads
Hmm.
on Google and Facebook. I'm kinda split between the both. We post every day on Facebook and post it into local Facebook groups like Downriver and Friends, and
Yeah.
there's a couple other ones that we post into. We get a lot of word of mouth too from our current customers, which
Okay.
is always nice. That's the best way to get customers, I feel like. And then we do yard signs as well.
Yard signs. Yep. Yep.
I
I
think
have.
it's everything.
Yeah. Okay. Which one of those do you think works the best?
Facebook ads.
Facebook.
Yeah,
Okay. And you
definitely.
mentioned the spring is it called spring? I'm doing a lot I've been watching a lot of videos on the poop scooping industry just because it's so interesting to me. So is this, if you can correct me, is this called the spring rush in
Spring
your
rush,
spring rush,
definitely.
correct? Cool, cool. So I got
Our
it right. Yeah.
busiest time of the year is between well, this year is a little different because we got, like, a big snow melt in February, but
Mhm.
usually it's, like, the beginning of March until, like, end of May.
Okay.
Big
That's
big
the big rush
springtime.
because the snow was out and then nobody was cleaning at the time.
Exactly.
Okay.
You did your homework.
I did not honestly. Again, I'm not gonna take too much. Uh, like it. it's just the industry you're in is so intriguing to me because
Yeah.
honestly, from what we said at the beginning, I just didn't know it existed. And so now that I know that it's something that people do, so many people are actually taking the time to start these poo scooping businesses,
Yeah.
which are really good businesses, right? But I just think it's really cool. So I've been watching a lot of podcasts kind of similar to this, and they're talking, and that's one I heard a lot. Spring rush, spring rush,
Bring
spring
her up.
rush.
You
So
got it.
that's why I remembered it. But yeah,
It's been nuts, man. I'll tell you, it's been
yeah.
nuts.
It has it been good to you?
It's been great. Yeah, we've gotten so many new customers, met so many new people through it, got more reviews thanks
Good.
to you.
Yes, sir.
So,
That's what I
it's
like
been
to hear.
good.
Good. Good. What do you think sets you apart from other businesses in this space?
Hmm.
Besides being from Detroit. Obviously, that's already the ultimate one, right?
Um, what sets me apart? I feel like our communication with our customers is really great. I'm not saying that other companies don't have great communication as well, but so we always send a reminder email the day before we service, and then we also send an arrival window text and then a text on our way. So the
And that
customer
just
is never
alerts
in the
them?
dark of, like, knowing when we're gonna come, when we're gonna be there. Because I've had a lot of customers say they've used other companies in the past, and their communication just wasn't there, like, they would just come show up whenever they wanted randomly, everything like that. So we try and prioritize our communication with our customers.
Yeah, yeah, and obviously I can see all the reviews that you get, and that's one of the biggest sentiments that you get from in your reviews, which is you guys let them know before you come, you let them know before you leave, and so there's nobody that's in the dark anywhere. So
Sure.
that's really good. I've been also looking into this other niche, trash cleaning companies,
Oh, the trash bins?
trash trash bin cleaning. Yeah,
Yeah. There's a big company in downriver that just started, and they're doing great. I think it's
yeah, they're
called, like,
doing great.
CK Bin Cleaners.
I know I've been trying to reach out to them, but they've been ignoring me, but it's okay, you know. We gotta earn the trust, dude, like, we gotta earn the trust, so hopefully one day,
I've
they'll
talked
be
to 'em. I'll have to reach out to 'em and tell
yeah.
'em I use
That'd
you.
that'd be awesome, bro, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, they don't know who I am, so I don't automatically expect them to just know and trust me, so you have to build those trust that trust with people. So what I was trying to say is I was looking into some of them, not downriver, but elsewhere, and a lot of the sentiments that they get in their reviews is that I didn't even know they were coming, and
Really?
um, they missed the route and they didn't come, or people are paying and they were missing routes and stuff like that. So
You're
no,
talking
that
about the Goop or the bin cleaners?
the bin cleaners.
Okay,
So in my research, I look at how many reviews that they're getting to try to get an idea of how consistent they're getting reviews, which gives me the
right.
opportunity to say, hey, I can help you solve this. And in that process, I read some of them, and a lot of the sentiments that were being said were how, they would just show up or they wouldn't show up at all. They're missing routes or days and things like that. And I just thought that just made me think like, the opposite of that is with you, where if you have that open communication with your clients, that just gives way better service because they know when you're coming, they can be prepared. Some people you don't know
That's
what they're
the biggest
doing
thing for
before.
these customers. That's really what they appreciate the most is the communication,
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
That's great. No, that's great. What would you say is one of the best decisions you've made for marketing for your business so far?
For one, using you for my reviews and my automatic Facebook posts, that's been great. That's been
I'm really
perfect
happy to
for
hear
us.
that.
Um, Shout out to my buddy Brendan. He built our website for the
Looks good.
business.
Looks good, by the way. I've seen it.
Thank
Yeah, looks
Yeah,
really
I think it looks amazing. But we use that for all of our forms that people submit looking for work. We
okay.
put that on our Facebook ads and our Google ads and everything. We've gotten hundreds of forms through the website since we started it, and I think that's probably the one of the best things we've done for our company is having a good, solid website that people can see. And then also focusing on ranking our website high on Google as well.
Yeah,
If you're towards the top, you're always gonna have customers calling, and
hundred
especially if
percent,
you have good reviews.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and once I
that's
first started talking to you, I know that was my biggest concern was our rankings,
yeah.
for both the Google page and the website, and they're both, like, towards the top for any keyword search now. It's
Good.
great.
That's great. Yeah, I mean that's the point, right? That's free real estate. I mean, if you think about it, and like we can talk marketing and the jargon all day, but if you look at it realistically, anyone that's looking for a service professional, for the most part, majority of them are gonna go to Google first, right? Yes, some people might use some AIs at the moment, but it's not as it's not like, it's not an automatic thought for people at this moment in time where like, hey, I need a plumber, I need a poop scooper. Let me go to AI. No, let me go to Google, right? And so what people see first is typically who they choose. And then after that is other things like, who picks up the phone first and stuff like that. But obviously the awareness is the most important part and reviews will definitely get you there, right? Alongside other things like your website, like you mentioned, if you run ads, you get free awareness, not free, you have to pay for it, but it's more awareness too, right? But the reviews are one of the simplest ways to get awareness without having to pay for more ads and stuff like that. So
Definitely.
I'm actually super happy to hear that. For a
Yeah,
long
man,
time, I
you're
wasn't
killing it
sure.
for us. You really are. I appreciate it. You're
Eh,
killing it.
Dude, I really appreciate that because for a long time I didn't think it would work. So to hear that it's actually working and it's actually has a tangible result to it, that gives me all of the everything I need to continue, right? And go harder. Yep. So I'm really happy to hear that. But on that note, what were you doing for Google reviews before using Steady?
So for Google reviews, I don't remember how many we had before we started with you. I know it was nowhere near where we're at. Once we finished the job, I would go on Google, go to my Google business profile and hit ask for reviews. And then I would just manually send it to everybody after we did their job. Sometimes I would forget. Sometimes I would never follow up after the first one I send. So I mean, we got a few, but definitely not as optimized as it is now.
Yeah. Yeah, the manual process
A lot of
is
work.
it is a lot of work. Honestly, believe it or not, it is a lot of work, right? Not just the first message you send out, but you gotta oftentimes you have to remind people because first time you ask is rarely the time they do it because as soon as you leave, they have to take, I don't know, little Timmy to practice or something
Yeah,
or or do something
forget.
else, right?
Forget.
Which which might, it might get put on a back burner, but, having a system or having a process of which where you not only request it and you follow up and stuff like that, honestly, substantially changes the amount of reviews you get just because 'cause you're more consistent with it, right? Everything about it is about consistency, simply. So,
It's
that's
been a
really
game changer for us.
yeah, good. Great. I mean, you're saying all the right things, dude. I mean, I'm really happy that that's the truth. Do you now feel like you're being recognized by your customers more than before through the reviews?
Yeah, like, all the things that they're saying in their reviews is exactly what I wanna hear. All the nice things they say about our communication, the good job we did,
Yeah,
um, that's the type of stuff I wanna see for our business. That's the type of stuff I'm proud to show online,
that's
and you
awesome,
can
dude.
do that most easily through the reviews you have on your own company, you know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it speaks for itself.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, I mean, I mean, at this point, I'm just gonna be redundant, but I'm ultimately so excited to hear that because it's one of those things that can be easily forgotten, your reviews, but it's so important for a service business, like a local service business like yours, right? So that's good. What's something that you've learned the hard way as a business owner so far in your journey? And
Oh,
and and before you start, that question is actually kinda weird because we're both so young, so to ask what you've learned, I had to ask so far because, you know, let's be
yeah.
honest, me and you haven't been in the game long enough to
No,
but we're
I'm
so
learning
far
things every
in the
day.
journey. Yeah.
Learning things
What's
every
on your
day. There's always ups and downs.
100%.
One day, you're having a bad day for the business, something bad happens, you're like, "Oh, it's over." Like, I don't know if I can keep going, but then the next day you get 10 new customers, you're like, "This is what I've been looking for." But
Yeah.
the hardest thing that I've probably had to deal with is there's a lot when it comes to setting up a business, like an LLC, getting it set up through the state of Michigan, getting all your insurances, getting all of your employees set up on insurance, everything like that. Like, there's a lot when it comes to that, and no one teaches you how to do that on your own.
100%.
So, getting that process fully set up was a big eye opener, and it's probably the toughest thing that I've had to deal with so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the first time you do all those things, it is pretty scary. Luckily, I had some help.
Definitely.
I had some help, so that speaks to having mentors or people who have done it be there with you in the journey, right?
Sure.
A lot of the entrepreneurial journey can be so lonely at times, right? A lot of people are really lonely during that time, and sometimes it's integral to your growth. You have to be alone to be able to grow,
100%.
to
I
learn, right?
agree.
Sometimes it is, but it's not meant for you to be alone the whole time, right? And that's why I'm happy I know you, and if I ever have anything crazy happen. Although we're not in the same industry, we're still both in business, and you might have run into something that you've already solved that I can reach out to you and say, how
Definitely.
have you solved this before? Which is really good, which speaks to having mentors and people
And that's
ahead
one of the biggest things about being a business owner is making connections with anyone and everyone that you can that knows more than you. You
100%.
can always learn something from somebody,
Yeah.
always.
That's
You'll never
100% true.
know everything.
Yeah, do you have a mentor?
I do. His name's Jay Leonard.
Jay
I
Leonard.
actually I actually met him through my poop business.
Really? Is
Yeah,
he
he was
is
a customer of mine, and
okay.
he reached out, he's like, "Hey, I need someone to" this is about the bathroom trailers. He's like, "Hey, man, your communication was so good with us. I'm actually looking for someone to, help run the day-to-day for my other business I have going on." And so, we met through there, and, yeah, he's been my mentor since a year ago,
Yeah.
and he actually knows my dad too. So
Okay.
it's kinda like a acquaintance of our families, but he's
Gotcha.
helped me out with so much stuff, I can't thank him enough.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. What does Jay do? What's his, experience?
He's owned so many businesses. He's such a smart guy. He's very good when it comes to all the stuff that I'm trying to be good at. So,
Yeah.
he
Good.
owns he's a full-time banker. He owns a construction company. He owns the bathroom trailer business. He's owned, like, an epoxy floor company in the past. He's owned a sandblasting company. He's done everything. He knows
I
everything there is to know. Any
yeah,
questions I have, I go straight to Jay.
that's
Oh,
awesome, dude.
he's a man.
Yeah. I don't yet have a Jay in my life, but soon. I
You
think
gotta
I'll have
find you a Jay.
I gotta
Telling
find
you.
my J,
You gotta
man,
find
for
a Jay.
sure. Yeah, that person was my uncle for a little bit. He's also in business. He does real estate to Section 8 housing in Detroit and amongst other things, right? But he's been busy lately, so I haven't been able to connect with him. But he's the one that started me on this journey. Like even this computer I'm recording right now, he got it for me as a gift, and you know, um,
Amazing.
started my business on this computer. So yeah, so I would say that. But I need somebody who can be present and be there on the day to day, and I can connect with more often. But yeah, I'm looking for my J for
You'll
sure.
find your Jay, man. You will.
I will. I will.
It's great.
I will. What advice would you give to someone starting out in this industry?
Hard enough. I see a lot of people starting these companies on Facebook and everything, and I just can't believe how little they're charging to do the service. I'm like, "Man, you're gonna go out there and do any job for $25 per yard?" I'm like, "There's no way." Some of these
Is that
houses
low?
will be there for 2, 3 hours
Is
putting your
is that
hands in
low?
yeah. I've seen some crazy prices on there, but, yeah, one thing if I had to say to these people starting out, up your prices. People will pay, I promise
Charge,
you.
charge your worth,
Yeah.
100%. If you
Charge your
believe in
worth.
it, if you believe in it and it solves a problem for someone, you could definitely charge your worth.
Yeah,
You can definitely get on a bad side of that where you're charging a little too much because you
yeah,
don't understand how to
definitely. You gotta
price it.
find that happy medium where people are
Yeah,
happy to pay for that service, but they pay for what they're getting,
100%.
Picking
Yeah,
up poop isn't something anyone wants to do, so
100%. Yeah,
charge for the convenience of it and
yeah,
taking it off of someone's plate.
100%. And you gotta look at your margins too. You don't wanna charge where you're not making any money. At that point, it
Yeah,
doesn't it
really. I mean,
it's honestly for
if
nothing.
you're just beginning in this industry, there's not much overhead, man. It's literally a rake and some trash bags, and gas. If you're not spending anything on ads, you don't have, like, an LLC established yet, you're just back there hustling, there's not much overhead at all.
Yeah.
So, that's the
So you
one
don't
good thing
need
about the industry is you don't need, like, for example, if you're cutting grass, you need a $10,000 zero-turn mower.
yeah,
There's not much in this industry for equipment or anything like that.
yeah. That is true. You don't need much when you're starting. Advice I got when I was starting is do some free trials. Just because nobody knows who you are yet, right? You're not established yet. You don't have any results yet. So once I got my first few results, you being amongst those first few results, it was awesome. Now I'm not just going to people saying, I think this can work. I'm saying I know this can work, which gives you way more leverage than saying I think. All right.
I
Because
hope
you
you use me as a testimonial.
I do. I do.
Good,
Ooh,
good.
and it's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm really happy I met you, man. It's awesome. What would you say is next for your business? Any goals or plans in the future?
Um, so we got a few calls this year during our spring rush. to do a few apartment complexes, like a complex wide spring cleanup. I would love to get more into the commercial side of stuff, like putting apartment complexes on reoccurring services, installing those. I don't know if you've seen them, but those dog like things they put in the ground with the bags attached to them in like the little garbage can.
Yeah.
We'd love to install some of those into some complexes and get into some HOAs, stuff like
HOA.
that. So
I was gonna say that.
we're
Yeah.
doing our research to try and get into the commercial side a little more. But in general, the biggest thing for this year is I just want to keep learning.
So
Uh, Learn how to scale the best I can, how to treat my employees the best I can, and overall just treat my customers as best I can too.
yeah, that's awesome. How's that process going? Getting into the complexes and the HOAs. How is it complicated? Is it going well, or are you still vetting and figuring it out?
So it's not complicated, I would say. I mean, at the end of the day, you're just picking up poop. But I feel like the complicated part comes into trying to bid on these jobs and figure out how to bid on them because it's obviously different from bidding on like just a regular house.
Yeah.
There's one thing I'm trying to figure out. I've asked a couple other companies in the area how they do that, which is I go back to making connections with these other companies. You can
Yeah.
learn stuff. We haven't gotten any yet. We're trying. We're getting there, but
Yeah.
hopefully soon this year we'll land our first one.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And you mentioned you had some people working under you. How has that been being like a boss or somebody that, runs the day to day and, has people under him? How's that been for you?
So having employees is awesome. I mean, it takes some stuff off of my plate so I can focus more on the marketing and the managing, talking to customers, getting new jobs, everything like that.
Yeah.
Uh, it's been nice to take some stuff off my plate, but for me, it's tough because I want to be the one doing the work and making sure every job is done exactly how I want it to be done.
Yeah.
But you're never gonna grow and scale just doing it on your own. So it's been a learning lesson trying to trust these guys to get out there and use what I've taught them from training them that they can keep up the same quality of work that I started off by doing. But it's been good having employees. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that could be pretty tough having people under you. Are these individuals like friends of yours?
Yeah, so everyone that I've had work for me so far has been a friend of mine in some way or something to do with a family friend, something like that.
Yeah.
We're looking to hire another one soon, and I've been asking all my buddies like, "Hey, are you looking to work?" But we're trying to find someone new. I might have to hire my first employee that I don't know.
No. That's
Yeah,
awesome. I mean, that's a
we'll
big
see.
milestone, bro.
We'll see.
Congrats.
Yeah,
Congrats. I'm wishing you all the best in as you go forward with that because I know that's difficult, especially working with people and stuff like that. So,
yeah, right.
um, you seem to have it under control. I know that is like for a lot of other stories, it's like that's like a make or break moment for people. It's like not specific to yours, but working with like a spouse or working with like a family member is really or a friend or close friend is really difficult.
Sure.
But
Yeah, because
that's cool.
you're their friend and you're their boss at the same time. It's like,
Yeah.
how do I find the happy medium here? You know?
Yeah.
So,
Not a mix there for most of them, but I think if you have the right boundaries and you set the right expectations, it can work out. Yeah.
100%. It's been
Good.
great. It's been great having the employees.
Good. Good. So we're reaching the end here, and so I have like one this is like a wild card question to get us out of here, right? To end us. And the question is, what's the weirdest or most unexpected request you've ever received from a customer?
I have one.
Okay.
Um, I've gotten more than one inquiry about picking up human poop.
What?
Yeah, I've gotten
All
a
right.
couple. People are like,
Question.
"Do you do human waste?" And I'm like, I don't even respond. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I
Is it
don't.
a joke or serious
I don't
inquiries?
know. I don't know.
Okay.
Couldn't tell you.
A lot of questions there, right?
I've gotten a
First of
few
all,
forms and a few calls. I think it might be a prank, but I don't know. I couldn't be certain.
yeah, that doesn't make any sense because that leads to a couple questions for me. First of all, how did it get there?
Right.
Could you not make it to a restroom or and past that point, why are you telling me? You could just get rid of it. Nobody ever has to know about it. I mean, what have you ever responded to one?
No, no,
No?
no, I have not. I have
Dude,
not responded to any of them. It just makes me laugh. I'm
okay.
like,
Well, Well,
No.
that's crazy. Well, that was pretty quick and straight to the point. You want to do one more wild card question?
Let's do it, let's do it.
Let's do
Yeah.
one more. Let me see. Oh, I like this one. If you could go back and give yourself advice on day one of this business, what would you say?
Charge more.
Charge more?
Yeah,
Charge
I was
more?
that guy. I was that guy last year.
Yeah.
I was that guy that was charging not enough. I
Yeah.
should have charged more off the
Ye-
gate, but I could say the opposite though, because me doing all those jobs for not an expensive amount taught me a lot, and that's what started the foundation of my business was getting all those customers because I was charging not enough for myself. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you can look at it in a good way and a bad way.
Yeah. 100%. People that haven't started a business yet or have never experienced all that, they won't they won't really understand what you're saying because pricing is one of those things that's a catalyst for a lot of businesses, especially if you don't have somebody who can give you the right way, the right path, or the right, like, what's a good amount to charge, right? Because even I struggle with that. I went from my highest, I dropped it to a certain amount, and it's like, you run into these psychological things where it's like, now it doesn't look like it's worth it. It's too cheap. It's a little too cheap to believe. It's like, but the whole point was for me to be affordable to a point where more people will buy. But you honestly reverse the psychology of that. More people don't want to buy because they don't trust that they can get something of that
My dog's about to bark.
level
I already
of
know it.
that price, right? Too good to be true, right?
I mean, I
So,
think you were priced pretty reasonably when you got a hold of me. I don't remember,
think so?
but I never thought like, "Man, this guy's too cheap. I don't trust
Yeah.
him." You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, in my case, the goal was to be affordable, right? Affordable for businesses of all sizes. And so we're priced anywhere between $100 to $300 based on the size of your business. And 300 being the highest. If your business is, firing on all cylinders, you're at 150 customers a month plus, and that's like those are businesses really working. They have a well-oiled machine, so yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, is that it? I got one thing to say though.
Yeah,
Um,
what's up?
one thing to say to any entrepreneurs watching it is, so I've tried starting a few businesses in my short entrepreneurial career, right? A couple things, but the one thing I will say as a tip is, no matter even if that business you started failed and it doesn't go exactly how you want it to go, each time you start a new business or you try something new, you're always learning something to take from that failure into your next opportunity. So if I wouldn't have started those other businesses when I got into the business I'm in now, I would have no idea how to cold call customers, talk to people on the phone, have good communication. I would have known nothing. So even if the business you want to start fails, you can take that what you learned and move on to the next thing.
Yeah,
Don't give up.
I
Don't give
would
up.
I would 100% agree and back you up on that, bro, because this isn't my first venture. So Steady isn't a finished product of like my first attempt. So I had an agency before. I tried, I failed, or I did something, it didn't work. But there was quite a bit of trial and error to get to this point where I know a little more because I've tried things and they failed, right? And one of the best advice I've ever heard on this specific topic that you just brought up is from a gentleman called Seth Godin. So Seth Godin is a lot of people refer to him as like the father of email marketing. So he basically created email marketing.
Okay.
And one thing he says is anything you start, so this isn't verbatim, but anything that you start, don't get too attached to it because it might fail, right? Just understand that it might fail. Like you might start something tomorrow and it just might not work. And you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
And that's the core right there. You just have
And
to
you
be
have
okay.
to realize when it does fail too.
Yeah.
You can't keep kicking a dead horse or whatever
Yeah.
they say.
100%.
Move on to the next thing.
100%. Yeah. I hope somebody watching this could get something out of it, right? They might have an idea. They might have an idea and they're not too sure, especially those who are around our age group, right? They're not sure if they're even capable or they're even they have the right foundation to start. The only advice that I would add to yours is, just start. Just
Just
start.
start.
Like whatever
Just
whatever
start.
you need
Yeah.
to do, just start. And if it doesn't work out, the worst case scenario is at least you learn something to
Exactly.
move into your next venture. Yeah. Well,
100% agree.
yeah, no, that's great. Yeah. Well, that's all I had today. And, Devin, I want to say thank you to you for joining us today.
Of
As I
course, man.
mentioned, this is called the B2B podcast, so Back to Basics podcast. So thank you for being on today.
Of course, man. I appreciate being the first guest. It's an honor,
All
and,
right.
hopefully we can do it again sometime when you got 1,000,000 subscribers and I can come back on.
Million subscribers, man. Let's do it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's do it. That's great. I mean, I hope, dude. 1,000,000 subscribers, you're definitely welcome back because you're a pioneer. You're pioneering this for everybody else. So if
I'll take
anybody
the
ever
break.
says, who was the first guest on Back to Basics? It's that one dude, Devin. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
perfect.
See? Yes, sir.
Cool, man.
Well,
I'm excited. Thanks for
yes,
having me.
sir. Well, we'll wish that within a year, a couple years, we'll be at 1,000,000 followers or sorry, subscribers, and we'll go from there. Right? We'll welcome you back.
Yeah, sounds good.
But thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Kelly.